Pain Relief Miracle is quickly becoming the most revolutionary natural topical healing formula of our time.
I put a spring in my thumb. I don't know if you ever sprained your thumb. It's an owie. It hurt. And I put it on there, and the pain began to subside. So I'm a big fan of it.
Created by Casper native Jason Laird and made right here in Wyoming. Guaranteed to work for headaches, arthritis, knee, hip and back pain, shingles, dandruff, and eczema. Available exclusively at Rising Lotus Wellness and Allergy Center or online at painreliefmiracle.com. Pain Relief Miracle, because sometimes life hurts.
Well, Jason came into the restaurant and I was cooking and my hands were bothering me, so he gave me this little tiny bottle of Pain Relief Miracle. And I put it on, and within 10 minutes I felt so much better. Then I started using it on my hip because my hip hurt so bad just from standing for so many hours. And I got it on my hip and I got it on my hands, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, I feel great. This stuff is really good. I recommend Pain Relief Miracle.
Okay, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona right now with Dorothy, and she's got a really great testimonial. Would you tell me your full name?
Dorothy Marshall.
And Dorothy, what did you use Pain Relief Miracle for?
For my muscle pain, because I have fibromyalgia.
How much was the pain before? What level was it out of 10?
Probably a 10,
Okay.
most of the time.
And how long have you had fibromyalgia?
I've been diagnosed with it now 2 years.
2 years. And what were you taking for it?
Percocet.
And how many Percocets a month were you taking?
I've got a prescription for 120.
You told me a pretty funny story about when you went back into your pain doctor about your Percocet. Will you share that?
About a month ago, I went in and shook my bottle and showed him that I wasn't out. And he asked me why, and I took out the bottle of the pain relief and told him that's what I'd been using.
And how long had you been using the Pain Relief Miracle before that?
For about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so after you started using the PRM, where did your pain level go to?
My pain level some days is down to zero, I can stand and cook, not lean on the stove. I'm able to walk better. As a matter of fact, my left foot, I have no pain in my left foot at all.
That's great. And your sister uses it?
Yes, she does.
And so just briefly, what was your sister using it for?
Just put on her, she was in a car accident, so she sprayed it on her different places where she was having pain.
And she was in a neck brace when she first started using it.
Yeah.
And then she told us earlier that she used it and then didn't have to use the neck brace. Is that right?
Didn't have to use the neck brace.
Now,
the pain went away.
I want to hear the story about your mom. She has
My mom has arthritis.
How old is she?
87. And she almost refuses to take her medication. But we bought the spray for her, put the spray on her, and she uses the spray more than she do the pills now.
And what does she say to you? That was my favorite part.
She every time something happens, she say, "Get my spray, spray me. Get my spray, spray me."
That's
she
great.
Wants to know where a spray is.
Now, what would you tell people about PRM that don't know about it?
Try it. Really try it. Don't be hesitant about it. Try it, and you won't believe what it'll do for you.
That's great. Anything else?
It's great. It's great. It's great.
Great. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, the reason Dennis and I are here today is because we think that other people need to know who you are. And I think the first question I'd like to ask you is, what was your inspiration for developing Pain Relief Miracle?
Well, my mother was having some severe pain in her hands and numbness, and she couldn't actually do her beading jewelry. She really loved to do that. And so sort of like your mom, you really wanted to help her. Well, my mother and I were traveling one day in the car, and she was using one of the popular pain relief topical formulas that a lot of people use. And the windows were up in the car, and she put this stuff on, and it burned my eyes, and I started to sneeze, and I was like, what is that stuff? She told me the name, and I thought, well, that's not acceptable. We got to do something about this, because she was putting it on more than 10 times a day and barely gave her any relief. So I have a master's degree in Chinese herbology as well as Chinese acupuncture. So I started putting the formula together help her. And it's been a 4-year process, and as of last August, I perfected it. I think the scent also, as well as the effectiveness, and people have used it for more things than just pain and bruising. And the funny story is I didn't think much about it. We had it in these homemade printed labels that we had from the computer in these glass jars, and I just would give it to patients here and there, and they seemed to think it was a good thing. But then I got an email from a guy in Texas, and he said that his fingers were cut off in an industrial accident. They reattached them, and that but he still had hand pain. So he was in the bank down there in Austin, which is where I went to school. Well, 6 months before that, so it's been over a year now, I met a lady on the airplane who I was just chatting with, like you do with people on the airplane, and she overheard this gentleman in the bank talking to his teller about this story. She says, well, you need to call this guy in Casper, Wyoming named Jason Laird, and he's got this topical stuff that'll help you. So he sends me this email, and I thought, maybe we have something that I didn't realize. Because I didn't actually develop it as a business, I developed it to help my mom. And we had a lady that came in 2 weeks ago, and she came in to me for back pain, for acupuncture, and so I was telling her about Pain Relief Miracle, and so she got some, put it on her back, and then I noticed on her leg she had this kind of a strange bandage. And it turns out she had a 2-inch deep ulcer in her leg. It looks like somebody took a ice cream scoop and scooped out part of her calf. And it was painful, and she'd had it for 7 months, I think, since July, and nothing she tried, nothing the doctors tried worked for her. And I said, if nothing else is working, you might as well give it a shot and spray it in there. I said, it'll sting, but put it in there 3 times a day. That was on a Monday, I believe. She came in the next Thursday or Friday, and I said, well, how did it go? And she said, well, I put it on for 2 days. And I went to my doctor's appointment, and the doctor took the bandage off, and he says, oh my gosh, this thing's healing. What are you doing? And she told, she said what she was putting on there. And, so that was really a neat thing to even have a doctor recognize that, something was working that nothing had previously worked. Wow. And so it turns out that it just has helped so many people with more things than just bruising and pain.
One of the big things that I really want is because of my youngest daughter has migraines. And I know that we've had a lot of people say, I put them on my temples or my back of my neck for a migraine. I know it works because I want to get it for my youngest daughter.
I mean, we had one guy at Christmas, he had a headache, and he put it on, and within probably less than 10 minutes, his headache was gone. And then, I shared with you the text my cousin just sent. He said, man, this is the only thing that works on his headaches. He said he puts it on, and within 20 minutes, his headache's gone, and it stays away. And he says, I'm so proud of you. So that was kind of a neat thing. And then the shingles things, we just keep getting more and more people coming in with shingles that have tried everything. And nothing works. And the pain, thankfully I've never had shingles, but, according to the patients I've had, it's bad. It's like a hot poker, and, their doctors haven't been able to help them. And they, even though they've tried, and so somebody recommended Pain Relief Miracle, and they put it on, and the pain goes away. And one of the coolest stories about the shingles that I saw was a guy came in probably a couple weeks ago and said, I heard about this Pain Relief Miracle stuff. What is it? And I said, well, what do you have? And he says, I've got shingles. It's so painful I can't hardly function sometimes, like a hot poker in my back. And a friend had recommended him here in Casper to come in. And I wanted to see for myself, because I know if it's going to work, pretty quickly usually. So I brought him back to one of my treatment rooms and sprayed it on his back. And I said, well, we'll hang out at the front desk, talk to Laprel for 20 minutes, and I'll come check on you. And then I came down, I went to my office, got a pen, realized I forgot some paperwork at the front desk, and I walked down, and he says, my pain's only a 1, I want a big bottle. That was less than 2.5 minutes. Wow. So I was like, wow, this is really pretty neat stuff. So, the expansion of the things that this is helping is beyond my expectations.
Well, when you started this business, actually in 2010, in the summertime, you have grown so fast with your product, and you make your own product.
I do. I mix it with my own hands in the back. Right. Yeah, sure do. It's a 2,100% increase or something like that in 6 months. And
that's awesome.
You know, so in fact, we today is my 10th year in the business, basically. And for Rising Lotus, which is my clinic, this is our 5th year anniversary today.
When people see me, they go, again, who's this Jason? That's why we're here, to make sure they know who Jason Laird is.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, my family has been here for, you know, who knows, 80, 90 years or something, whatever it's been. You know, my grandfather started Kistler Tent and Awning and, you know, sold it to some great people. And, you know, my grandmother has been here, you know, I mean, her grandparents, I think, came in, you know, as some of the settling founders. And so, you know, people know our family. But, you know, a lot of people say, you know, you come up with something like this, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't intend to have it be such an amazing thing, I guess. But I see that it helps so many people, and then they think, you know, maybe I got it from somewhere or bought it, or, you know, how did you do this? And, you know, I think it's a lot of it is you put your heart into something and good things happen. So
it's a great product.
It is.
Well, thank you.
Well, and we're glad that you shared your story, because I think that that's something that people really want to know. They want to know who the master is behind all of this.
Well, I wouldn't ever say I'm a master, but, you know, I think you have a spirit that runs through you, and good things happen when you do
You have a passion for this.
Yeah, I do.
Bottom line.
And I have to say, I really, you know, Laprelle's sitting over here behind me, and I really couldn't do a whole lot without her. So.
Behind every good man is a better woman.
Right, and I in my case, I have her and my mother and Amber, so it's been great.
That's good.
Okay, we're here in Casper. What is your name, sir?
Ron Bell.
And Ron, you're using PRM, Pain Relief Miracle. What are you using it for?
Nerve neuropathy.
All right, and so I see that you're in a wheelchair. How long have you been in the wheelchair?
About 2.5 years.
And it's from the neuropathy?
Right.
Yeah. So tell me what your experience and what you've noticed the benefits are with Pain Relief Miracle.
Well, once my little brother bought it and brought it over to me and I sprayed it on, it seemed like the second or third day I was able to get up on my feet a little bit. And I lasted about 20 minutes at a time. And then I'd spray some more on it, and a couple hours later I could get on them again a little bit. And I've been bedridden with this stuff for a while.
Have you?
Yeah, I can walk in that. It's just a pain.
Yeah.
You know.
So the Pain Relief Miracle has cut it down quite a bit?
Yeah, it cuts it down to where when you think you're going out of your head, you put this on and it cuts it about in half.
In half. And how long does it take to do that?
About 8 to 14 minutes maybe.
So that's pretty quick then for you.
Yeah.
Anything that you would like to tell other people that might be suffering with something similar? And it's in your hand, right?
It's in my hands and in my feet.
Okay.
When you put it on, if you put it on and then take a hair dryer to it, it seems like it activates it.
The heat probably, right?
Yeah, it gets it going faster.
And you can also try a heating pad, or what I really like is a rice bag. Yeah.
I use the rice bags too. But for just putting it on, it's wet and you want it to get it dry.
Right.
The hair dryer seems to sink it into the hands faster.
Oh, cool. That's interesting. That's the first I've heard of that.
Well, when you're in a lot of pain, you try and
figure out everything. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone. Joining us now in the studio is Jason Laird, licensed acupuncturist here in the city of Casper. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you're here to talk about your Pain Relief Miracle.
Right.
Tell us about this formula and this healing topical solution that you've came up with.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been an acupuncturist for about 10 years. I went to the Academy of Oriental Medicine down in Austin, Texas. And I've been back in Casper about 5 years. And my mother, in 2007, got severely ill with liver failure and fell down outside. And she was in a nursing home for about a month, and she was only 61 years old. And when she got out of the nursing home, she barely could hold on to a glass. She couldn't button her own blouse, and she was using a topical formula that she bought at the store, but it wasn't really working for her. And so I thought, gosh, I need to do something, you know. And I kept looking around for something to help her. And I could only find things that were temporary relief of something. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but it makes me mad when I see the temporary relief of something, especially when it came to my mom. I mean, I wanted to fix my mom. And so I went to work on creating this formula. It was just for her, and I started out this little jar here that I just created it for her. And it really turned out to be where it worked so well for her that my patients at my clinic at Rising Lotus were getting a lot of benefit from it too. And then I got a phone call from a guy in Texas who had heard about it from a lady I met on the plane like a year before. And so I thought, we might have something that's a little more than just for, for us. So now I make it in 55-gallon barrels. I've got 5 55-gallon barrels right now, but we've seen it go treat anything from pain and injury, which is what I developed it for, to now nursing homes in Casper are using it where it's treating bed sores. We have a physical therapist who called the other day and said, he told one of my friends, says, I know, Jason, and my patients are coming in here wanting me to use it on them, so I need to start selling it, and using it. So,
and we actually have some pictures. I don't know, can we show those pictures, and maybe Jason, you can talk us through what we're seeing and how the Pain Relief Miracle was able to treat these. So
this is a gentleman, his name is Tom. He came in, and I wasn't in the clinic at the time, but Laprelle was there. This was a brown recluse spider bite. This is a lady had a tumor on her neck. Apparently that is half the size. She bought it on a Thursday, sprayed it on, and the tumor went down. She'd had it since 2009. This spider bite that's back up on there, it was brown. The guy had it wrapped up, and it was painful. And he sprayed it on the first time, and it went to the color that you saw there. And then over 5 days, this is the end of 5 days. And he said he's left testimonials on our Facebook page about how incredible it was. The most significant one that I saw was I don't know if you guys have that picture. There was a lady that had a bed sore, and literally you could fit a golf ball inside of this thing. And the doctors, did their best. They had tried to help her fix it over 8 months rather. Nothing was working, and it was working for her back. I said, well, why don't you spray it in the wound? I don't know if it'll help, but she came back and she misunderstood the directions. I told her to put it on 3 times a day. She only put it on once a day, and it healed it up to the size of where it was a little scab the size of your pinky. And so, it's been amazing of all the different things, and the biggest one is shingles. People have that searing pain from shingles pain. We've had so many people that within 20 minutes or less, there's one guy, it was 2 minutes, he'd had it for 8 years, 2 minutes, and the pain was down to a 1, he said.
And it's all natural, right?
All natural Chinese herbs.
And it's all available, the PRM, Pain Relief Miracle, is available on your website. How can people get a hold of it?
PainReliefMiracle.com, or in Casper, of course, we sell it out of the clinic.
I figured that I'd continue this offer until I just simply can't keep up with the volume of orders and phone calls. Once we reach our limit of new customers, we'll have to shut down this offer so we can make sure we properly service our existing customer base.